Take 400.
Exactly. We had technical issues, and we're not technical people, but
Our audio wasn't recording.
yeah. And this is after, just for context, we already did a full episode that we have to re-record, but we think we figured out the issue.
If we haven't, this podcast is quickly coming to an end.
When I notice I lose focus, I just realign. I'm on my grind.
How you doing?
I'm good. What's today? Today's Friday.
I know we usually record on Wednesdays.
Yeah.
So
I'm good. It's been a good week. My birthday, although we already recorded one on Wednesday, so we talked about that, but
Yeah.
it's in the same week. So yeah, it's good.
good.
I'm excited for the weekend. I've got some events, some
Me
things.
too. We're going to go to Katrina's dance class
We're
tomorrow.
going to dance tomorrow.
Mhm. That'll be a lot of fun. I'm excited too. I'm feeling good.
Are you coming to the ESPN event with me?
I don't know
You
if
are.
I can swing it. Okay. All right, fine. I guess I just need a little push and I'll do anything.
Let me decide that for you real quick. Okay, so we're taking the audience's questions today.
Yeah, we asked, if you don't follow us on Instagram, I encourage you to do so, because something that we did and we're going to start doing more often is we put up the question box in our stories and just thought it'd be fun to go down the list and tackle some of the questions that a lot of you are asking. And maybe in the future, we'll do some kind of forum and see who's asking a lot of the same questions, but we're literally just like first time seeing them.
We're flying blind here, guys.
Yes,
And by the way, if you want to follow us on Instagram, it's Everything's Perfect Official.
that's right. Everything's Perfect Official. If you have a hard time finding it, it's tagged at the top of my Instagram, which is Donald Stamper. And both of us are
Yes,
posting
we're
about
always
the
sharing it.
podcast. So should we
Okay,
dive in?
Take her away.
The first question I actually think is one that a lot of people, and I'm interested to hear what you have to say, and I'll share an opinion on anything, even when I don't really have room. Helping kids stay active and find nutritional balance, which I do think is a really interesting subject.
Yeah, I
because
love that question.
You don't want to, like, when I was a kid, the help for me to stay balanced was like, you don't want to get fat, do you? I mean, I'm just keeping it real. Like, that's how my family talked. And I think it's times were different then.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that was the right way. I'm also not mad at them because it's way better than the things their parents said to them, you know?
Yeah. We were so active as kids, it wasn't even a conversation, and everything was homemade. So like, even when I grew up eating pizza, pasta, and subs, but they kicked us out of the house the second the sun was up, and they didn't let us back in until the sun went down. So we were like nonstop on the go. But I do think obviously it's a different time. So kids are sitting a lot in front of computers, in front of video games and things like that. So I think maybe putting some boundaries around those types of activities, where like the TV, the video games, doing things as families, like whether you take a walk at night. Like, I love taking walks with Dom because it's a great time for he and I to just talk and bond and how was the day. It doesn't even have to be very long. Encouraging your kids to participate in a sport, be it at school or like YMCA
friends, yeah.
or with friends or something like that, to just make sure that they're getting movement in. Depending on the age, I don't necessarily think like workout videos for kids is something that kids like.
I think it depends.
Like younger kids, I
yeah.
mean. That's why I said based on the age.
When I was, so we were homeschooled.
Right.
So, I'm like a extreme example of this, but a lot of the way that I live my life now is because of what I saw when I was growing up. So I might say to someone, do active things with your kids. It doesn't have to be all the time. And it doesn't have to be like, we got to get our workout in today. But just like my family oftentimes, especially when the weather was nice, would go on walks. Yeah. And that's something that I really love to do. We got out of the house and I got really excited because we had a longer walk through our neighborhood that we do, which wasn't a quote long walk, but for a little kid, you're excited. And there were hills. My mom called it the butt burner because we went up a lot of hills and stuff. And I also remember my mom she did Richard Simmons Sweatin' to the Oldies.
Oh, first of all, everybody loves Sweatin' to the Oldies.
Yeah, and we literally would grab soup cans or just whatever things. And I might not have been doing it right. I might not, but I thought it was so fun. And my mom made it fun.
Right.
Like she'd add sound effects and stuff, which a lot of the reason I'm crazy during workouts might be because of her. But so I think that that's something that really stuck for me. And I think just doing that kind of stuff and having fun with it.
Yeah. Riding bikes, like taking the walks, going outside and picking an adventure, pickleball, all those things. And then when it comes to the nutrition, yes, they said different things to us when we were little. But for me, I could speak to how I do it with Dom because I'm very careful since I am in that world and I speak about it so much already. And he's always listening to make sure that I'm really speaking about balance at home. So we have treats together. Like, I don't necessarily keep ice cream in the house, but I love when it's like a weekend and it's like, do you want to get ice cream? Or, sometimes we'll know we're going to the movies and we're going to get a treat there. Or when he was a little bit young, because obviously he's almost 17 now, so he gets it. But like when he was younger, if he was asking for dessert every day, I would just explain to him, like, that's a treat. We don't have that every day. There's nothing wrong with having it sometimes, but we don't want to have it every day. It's not healthy for us. The younger you get them started on eating healthier foods, the easier it's going to be for you. So I introduced him to like veggies and chicken and just fruit, like when he was really little. So those were the things he learned to love. I didn't introduce all of the like snacky, more processed things to him when he was younger, like a baby and like all that. Like I kind of tried to keep that minimal just because I knew he was going to get that eventually.
Yeah.
So
I think in our house too, another thing about nutrition, my mom was really, she had I know not every family has the luxury to be able to like prepare food all the time, but when you can, she was able to because she was at home. She was a homemaker and schooling us and everything. We didn't have, like, let's say we were having whatever meal, we always had a salad. And we actually ate our salad after.
Yeah.
And it was fun.
For digestion.
And in my mind, it was never like, you have to eat your salad. I would be asked questions like, which salad dressing do you want?
Right.
And, like in hindsight, I guess they weren't the healthiest. Like I loved, it was called Ken's.
Oh, yeah.
I loved that shit.
Man, give me some ranch.
Yeah. Well, I couldn't have dairy, but we also loved creamy Italian. I still love creamy Italian. I was at our house. I was like, this pasta salad's missing something. Just dump some creamy Italian on that bitch. But anyways, the point is a salad was just something that actually was really fun. And I got to, because my brother might want one dressing and I'd want another. And I got to have it the way I liked it. And we didn't, if I wanted more food, then she'd say, have your salad and then you can have more food.
Right.
Instead of just like if we were having, spaghetti, I couldn't have tons and tons of spaghetti without eating my salad.
Right.
And every kid's different too. I would say, if it's little kids, just do the best you can and try to get them to eat. Like observing my brothers and my family with little kids. Some kids are pickier and more difficult.
Very picky, yes.
But most of the time they will at some point grow out of that really picky phase. And I just think giving options is good.
Yeah. I also think just sometimes like a one bite sort of game of like, you have to try a bite. If you don't like it, you don't have to eat it, but you have to try a bite because sometimes they're just afraid of the way it looks. We love broccoli with cheese on it.
Yeah, I didn't get that shit either. It's so funny because last thing I'll say about this, there was this like spiritual, like when I'm trying to think of how to say this. She was like she was a good friend of my family and I loved her.
Okay.
But she was out there with the way she practiced her faith.
Okay.
At least how I perceived her. So I'm not trying to be judgmental, but she was like if you were like, oh, I don't feel good, she'd be knocking on your door and have anointing oil in her hand, say, in the name of Jesus, we come against this sickness. Like that's the kind of person she was. And she was praying for us not to be allergic to dairy. Like, I break the curse of dairy allergy. And my mom was like, I'm actually not mad at it because it's not going to kill them if they get it. And it just automatically puts some boundaries around what they can eat. But I tipped everything in creamy Italian. The next question, would love to hear your takes on beauty hacks, skincare routines / looking your best. And we did have like a little bit of a episode about this, but what would you say your main, like, if you had to choose one or two things in your routine?
Well, first of all, I want to say this. Like, I didn't expect that we would be on nutrition, but guys, beauty is going to start from the inside out. Like, if you're dehydrated, your skin is going to look dehydrated. If you're eating a bunch of highly processed, sugary foods, like, your skin is the biggest detox organ. So it's going to show through your skin. So making sure you're hydrated, making sure you're eating real whole foods, things like that. That is actually, like, believe it or not, that is like my non-secret beauty secret, is that I eat healthy, I stay hydrated, I get my sleep. Like, those are things that are really important. But I will never go to bed without washing my face. Like, never will I leave makeup on this face and go to sleep. Like, I don't think I would be able to fall asleep.
Yeah.
And I've always been like that. Like, gotta wash it after a workout. Even if I'm not washing it, I'll go grab a washcloth, wet it, wipe it. And don't get me wrong, I've got all my serums and all my, 10-step routines in the morning and at night. But before you get into all those, start with the basics of, eating right, hydrating, sleeping.
100%.
Wash your face, moisturize.
Yeah.
And then from there, it's,
the sky's the limit, honey. I got a whole bag of tricks.
Oh, let me tell you, I was looking at this forehead and it needs some Botox so bad. But because I did my stem cell facial 3 months ago, I don't want to put Botox in because, that's a toxin. I'm granola, but I'm like half granola, half put it in my face.
Like, you can't be walking out.
I don't want to kill the stem cells, so I can't put the Botox in. But these...
Well,
you know what you need is to teach me how to use frownies.
I'll teach you. I was going to say so I agree with you. Hydration. So many people are like putting so much stuff topically on their skin. And I'm like, okay, you're fighting a losing battle, baby. You need to drink some water and eat an antioxidant or two. Like, do something, because
literally,
like, that really is so important. And like, I don't know the science behind it, but being active, like sweating a little bit from time to time, like that kind of stuff is just good for your skin. My recent thing that I've added, so I on my Instagram, I talk about frownies a lot. So I do use frownies, and I think it's important, whatever the brand, we both have brands we like, of good, like having just a good quality moisturizer and stuff. But I've been finishing my skincare with castor oil on my face, and I fucking love it. And it's going to last. The bottle I got is going to last forever. And I don't, some people, maybe it would cause them to break out, but it's actually oftentimes really good for your skin and for hair and everything. Yeah. And I'm obsessed.
I got this beef tallow that was like, went TikTok viral. And I was like, okay, I'm not sure how I'm going to feel about it. Same thing. I'm like, what is this?
Oh, I thought about trying one. Is it good?
Like, you put it on and all of a sudden your face is like, oh, and I'm like, what? Like, because a lot of times you get stuff and you're like, okay, like, it works. This I put on and I was like, bitch.
Yeah. Wow. Hello. Yeah. Good to know. I wondered. I'm going to check out the one that you got.
I'm going to show you the one I have.
Yeah.
You can get it on Amazon.
I thought about trying that.
Okay. So that's some fun. Skincare. What else as I drink my water?
So the next question is...
and I don't know what that means,
okay,
but I just hope
I'll just jump to the next one.
Oh, okay.
It's not juicy, but and you've touched on it, but it just says Autumn's divorce. So I think maybe it said, what do you guys want us to talk about? Maybe it didn't say ask questions. Right. So,
oh, that's an easy. I mean, I've been divorced since Dom was 2. He's almost 17. So like 15 years. And nothing bad happened between Kent and I. We just grew apart in the romantic sense. And listen, my parents went through a horrible divorce and hated each other, and probably still to this day really don't like each other at all. And I just always said, like, I was never going to do that. Like, there's just no reason to hate somebody that you loved at one point, and especially if there's a child involved. And we had been struggling. Like, we were together 7 years, married for almost 5. And we had been sort of struggling for a year, and it wasn't like bad fights. It was just, I could tell we were going apart, and we kept talking about it, and it was like things weren't getting better. And I just said, I was like, I just could tell we've grown apart, and I think we need to separate before we hate each other. Because I think people stay in it sometimes so long. And look, I'm not telling people go get divorced the second there's a problem, but I'm just saying, like, I could tell we were not going to make it as husband and wife. And I was like, I don't want to stay in this to the point where we resent each other, hate each other. And then we can't co-parent Dominic very well. And I mean, you know, the first year was a little rough, but after that, like when we worked through all the emotions that come with the disappointment of feeling like you failed at something, look, Kent and I are still the best of friends. He works for me. He's worked for me for 7 years. I see him every single day. He's my family. And so really, you know, sometimes you can look at divorce as a failure, but I feel like we're way more successful, and I'm way more proud than if I would have stayed in a marriage that neither one of us was actually happy in. Yeah. And not show Dom that. I'd rather him see that we chose our happiness, but we also chose him and chose to stay friends and family and make that work. And it does work. I mean, it drives me insane, and he got us the wrong coffee. But so
trying to sabotage it. Give us the bubble guts on our fucking podcast. Because the wrong SD cards. But other than that, great guy.
Recorded an episode
so
twice.
Glad you kept him around. I'm just kidding.
Winning.
No, he is. Like, he is wonderful. And you guys are a great example of being able to succeed. You said like a lot of people look at divorce as a failure, but you've actually succeeded in so many relationships with him. It just, that wasn't the right one. Right. And I think it's so cool for
yeah, he's still very much my family. He's like a weird cousin. I don't know where he fits in.
Okay, this one says everything's perfect except when everyone's on the quote weight loss shot. Oh. And so obviously talking about GLP-1s and stuff like that. Yeah. And I don't know if we've talked about
I don't think we've actually talked. I mean, you and I have talked about GLP-1s, but we haven't talked about it on here.
Right. Do you have any thoughts you'd like to share?
Listen, I think when it comes to, there are certain people that need it, right? Like it's not like it's new. GLP-1s have been around for a while. So people that need it, I think that it's great that they have an option to help them. I absolutely feel it should be done under a doctor's care. You know, when you're using them properly, it should be very low dose, and you should only be on it for as short of a period of time as you need to start to get your weight under control. Like I know my doctors in Dallas, I've talked to them about it. Like, how do they use it with their clients? And they're very strict. It's the lowest dose possible. They do not up the dose. Like a lot of doctors will continuously up the dose until people are on these really high doses. And they're like, no, we try to keep people at the lowest dose possible. They have to check in with us every single week. They have to be on the exercise routine that we prescribe. They have to be working towards eating healthier, or we're not going to keep giving it to them. Yeah. Because if you're not making the lifestyle changes to accompany it, we're just really perpetuating unhealthy habits in general. And I think that that is a great way to use it. Obviously, there's lots of people using them that don't necessarily have a diabetic problem, or even like a huge amount of weight to lose. But I have heard of doctors recommending it now for women in perimenopause but like microdosing it in perimenopause, which I do think is interesting because we have so many hormonal shifts. But I would say without more research in that area, it makes me a little leery of like what might be the long-term things. Mm-hmm. The only other thing I would say is I do feel like, look, if you're using them, you should say you're using, like, you don't have to put it out there, but if you're putting it out there, like, look how great I look, and it's just my exercise and my nutrition, but you're getting help from like a GLP-1. Yeah. I don't love that because I feel like it just makes people who are really working their asses off feel bad that they're not getting the same results as quickly.
I feel you. I'm with you.
Yeah. And we should also stop shaming people if they're using it.
I am totally opposite of that. I love the way I've seen I have one friend come to mind who has had great success, little to no side effects. And if anything, the side effects has been good because they've been like, if she drinks alcohol, she feels sicker, so she drinks less.
Okay.
And so it's like,
Yeah, so
okay,
that's a
well,
good-
is that a bad side effect?
Not a horrible thing.
I know that there's different compounds and I don't know all of that. And obviously you should check with your doctor or do the thing. But I think that it's really great to see, like, there's a handful of people I know personally who they just feel better. And even as I'm saying it, I have a pause because it's like there's a part of society that might say, well, they shouldn't have to be they shouldn't have to lose weight to feel better. But either way, we live in the world we live in.
Let them live their life.
And these girls, they're like really feeling, my friend feels so much better in herself.
Yeah.
And
Good for her.
I actually also saw an influencer who people who follow me, he's much larger in terms of influence. He has a bigger following than I am. And he has been a trainer and all the things. And so he's someone who is against GLP-1s would say, you don't need to be on a GLP-1, but he took a GLP-1 and it was, he said it was to, I'm paraphrasing a post of his that I saw, but he said that it was to see what his clients felt. And he said that it was so freeing because food noise is something that he's suffered with his entire life. And it finally was gone. And he could finally just focus on himself and eat intentionally and work out. And so I think, especially for someone who maintains a healthy lifestyle, if it's giving you that extra whatever you need, baby, no shame here, go after it. And honestly, but I'm with you, especially let's say if I wanted to microdose a GLP-1 or something. I would not feel good about selling some of the other things that I sell and keeping secret
and keeping
that
it
I
a secret.
Yeah,
right.
I think that is something. It's like, if you use it and you're in that position, you should be honest about it. Just like the influencer I was talking about. So I'm here for it, but it does not take the place of, and it should not in your mind take the place of having a balanced diet, making sure you're getting enough of your macros. If someone's on it, they should still stay on their meal plan.
And I really think you need to be doing it find a doctor. You don't want to accidentally overdose yourself on it. You don't know what, if you're on another medication, if there's don't, if you're just, I don't know, ordering it off the web, you just don't know exactly what you're necessarily getting. But I want to say one other thing really quick, and then we'll go to another question about something you said where people might be like, oh, you shouldn't have to lose weight to feel better. First of all, that's not your place to tell anybody and how do you know they feel like they should lose weight? They might just want to lose weight because that to them makes them feel better. When you're carrying extra weight, it's not just a judgment on yourself necessarily of the way you look. You're carrying weight. Put a backpack on with 10 pounds in it and walk around for the day and see how tired you are and see if your back hurts and see if it's harder to go up and down stairs and if your heart rate jumps. It does. So if somebody's struggling, and by the way, 10 pounds does not necessarily mean a GLP-1. But again, if you're in perimenopause, sometimes people struggle. But my whole point is I just wish people would stop thinking it's their right to put their judgment on somebody else.
Other people's choices.
In general. It doesn't affect you. I get it if somebody's out there, like you said, lying about using it and being like, I'm just doing this. That's frustrating. But still, just stay in your lane and do you.
Yeah. You know what I love about it? It gives people, because I really do think that a weight loss journey is different for different people.
Yeah. Everybody has different biological.
Yeah, there's so many things that play, from hormones and all kinds of things. And genetics. And I am happy that this support is there for people. And I do think that's a yes. And, if someone becomes obsessive over it, losing weight, if you find yourself celebrating the fact that you just don't eat, if I was working with a client, I'd be like, these are some flags that we might need to look at deeper because that's not what this is. Right. This isn't a way for you to just
not eat, starve. Yeah.
So, but if you like it, I love it, baby. Let's see.
Uh-oh.
I've had a couple of this. Okay, I'm going to read 2 questions. Just
Okay.
So if they posted or comments, one said, people complaining just because they can and constantly being negative. I'm so over it. Another person said, dealing with an exhausting friend. She is great, but she is such a negative person. It's like exhausting emoji. That is an interesting. I don't think I have a lot of negative friends.
As I raise my hand. Let me speak from both sides of it, because we talk about this a little bit in the brain episode where I talked about my brain
Yes.
scans, that
Yeah.
I am very, like, the way my brain works, like literally looking at the brain scan, I expect the worst out of the world. They can see certain parts of my brain that are overstimulated or get more blood flow, that they're like, oh, you're on high alert all the time. And I ruminate. They can see that too. So like, I'm sort of expecting the other shoe to drop. And when something happens, man, I fixate on it. So being that I am the person that can sometimes get stuck in a negative headspace, I understand that, like, I'm at least aware of it, where I'm like, oh, I'm probably being annoying to my friends right now. So like, let me take this somewhere else, or like internally, and go work on myself. But you could put boundaries up around it a little
That's really
bit.
so great. I just want to acknowledge that, because so many people, like what you just did is acknowledge the fact that you can pause in a moment, even in the feeling, and realize I'm seeing this through a negative lens. I'm feeding into the negativity, and this is something that maybe I'm predisposed to doing. But where a lot of people out there are just like, no, this is it. Everything's like they are fully immersed in the belief of the negativity, and it is it's so refreshing and good. That's why I say I don't have any negative friends, because,
But it's
taking
been a
that
journey
responsibility. Oh, sure.
to be able to do that,
Yeah.
to catch myself in it. But I think you could probably, like, you could have conversations, and if you find that they are constantly talking about the same thing and being negative about it, like, I feel like it is okay to say to somebody, look, I know this has been stressing you out a lot lately, and I want to be here for you, but it does wear me out a little bit. So like, we're going to talk about this for 10 minutes, and then we got to put it down, because we've got to also find the good in life and have some fun together and things like that. Like, I think that is one way to handle it. I would say maybe not the best way to handle it would not be, like, if the person's really your friend, don't just shut them out. Don't just disappear on them. Don't just, in your mind, decide they're negative and so you're done, without having a conversation of, you're really kind of always in a bad mood or in a negative headspace, and it's bringing me down. Like, I want to be here for you and I love our friendship, but like, I know it's an uncomfortable conversation to have, but if the person's really your friend and you really care about them, you'd rather just drop them as a friend and not have the uncomfortable conversation of, hey, this attitude is not great.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that would be my suggestion, is sometimes you got to have the hard conversation and just point it out, because they might not realize that they're in it.
Well, I was going to say it also, remember, because something I can do that I don't really do at this point in my life, but something that I've been able to do is meet literally any person where they're at. And so if someone's on a bitch fest, baby, scoot over. let's ride this ride together.
Yes.
Or if someone's talking shit about somebody, I'm like, oh, you think that's good? Like, and I really do try now to be someone who it's like, there's a fine line between that. And then there's also another one where it's like, I don't have time for this. And I'm not even in the moment. I try to say something like, I know this feels really frustrating right now, but it is going to feel better.
Right.
You are going to get through this, and we're going to be having a good time. Like, and depending on who you're talking to, like, it could be, we're going to be having a good time next week for our dinner plans, whatever it is. Like, you're just feeling frustrated now, and I get it, but try not to stay there. Like, being that supportive friend who doesn't feel like you're judging or better than, like, you get it, you've been there, you felt that way too, but also holds the ground of reminding someone, you're going to get through this. And there is more to celebrate than there is to be miserable over.
And also, I guess it depends on what the problem is, because sometimes, like, I don't know, if they're going through a divorce, listen,
Yeah.
that takes a minute. Like, they might be in it for a while. Like, you're going to have to allow them a little space, or if they're going through a breakup, or if they just lost their job and they're panicking about how they're going to make money, you might need to give them a little space to be negative.
Yeah.
But that's where maybe a little boundaries come in. Like, all right, let's vent it out. Go. But in 10 or 15 minutes, we're going to talk through this. But then if you find that within, like, then you're circling back and saying the same things over and over again, you could be like, look, we're not going to solve this today. Today it sucks. And I love you and I know it sucks, but we're beating a dead horse. So let's put this down for today and let's try to do A, B, or C to move on and focus on something else, or take action to improve it instead of just perpetuating
Continue on. Totally.
beating the dead horse.
Because it's a real thing and people struggle. And it's a really good point to remember that people's like the makeup and the chemicals in their brain are not the same. And so, because I'm someone who used to be very frustrated. So if someone was coming to me with always a doomsday, I was not the one to come to. I've matured a lot. I'm like, what is wrong with you? Like, I literally be like, snap out of it, or I don't have time. I was really uncaring towards my friends who really were just struggling. And so I try to remember that, but also just make sure that having that conversation, like you said.
And yeah, there's other people like Nell, your boyfriend, is literally rainbows and sunshine and daisies all the time. Like, and I'm always like, sometimes I just need to be in a pissy mood.
His best thing is he sure does love himself, and it's such a good thing.
I love it for him.
Yeah,
I'm always like, I need what he's on.
And he'll be like, we have this mirror in our house, and he'll walk by and be like, oh yes, I do look good.
I love him.
I'm like, you
so
do, man.
much.
You ain't saying a lie.
No.
So this is one that you've talked about. I'm sorry, I was reading a couple questions.
Okay, I was like,
this is one that you've talked about before. We can just touch on briefly.
Okay.
Because you touch on it in your like meal, your nutrition programs and all that.
Okay.
But someone said, can you talk about protein? How many grams of protein do you recommend daily? Which I would say, I'm just going to say, if someone asked me that, the first thing I would say is I can't give a recommendation, just a blanket recommendation, because it totally depends on the person, their goals. But listen, there are blanket, like if you
1 gram of protein per body weight, but that's actually not totally accurate. It's per lean muscle mass, right? So like your whole body isn't lean muscle mass. Like we have fat mass also. So people are like, I weigh this much, so I need this much, 1 gram, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, you actually need to figure out what your lean mass is, and it's that.
So my understanding is, and this is an opportunity for you to correct me or what other people might be in real time. If you eat 1 gram of protein per body weight as like if you or I did that, that's a high protein diet. And some people, I think oftentimes what people do 1 per kilogram, which would actually be like almost half.
Right.
Maybe a little bit more than half.
I think you're asking me to get into math now. And I'm like, my brain's going to explode.
So if you divide that by 2 and times it by wanting to have big muscles, if you want to, if you're trying to do really high protein, you should never do higher than your goal weight if you have a lot of weight to lose. Like you're just overeating.
Well, and there's the thing is, do you have weight to lose? Are you trying to actually build muscle mass, like size? Because there's a difference between putting size on and just having lean defined muscles. And this is where having a nutrition program, something like Portion Fix or Gut Protocol or Belvital, if you look at any one of my nutrition programs, and you guys, the container system that I teach it all stems from everything I learned when I was a fitness competitor, getting ready to take the stage. So needing to build muscle, but needing to be sculpted and lean at the same time. It's always moderate protein, about 30%. But people get so fixated on protein. And what you don't realize is when you eat like these huge amounts at a meal, there's only so much your body can use at one time. And your body can't store protein as protein. So it's going to get converted and stored basically as fat, or it's going to get excreted. So trying to consume these crazy large amounts, first of all, you have to then use it. It's a raw material. You've got to train. You've got to lift to turn that into something, or it's just going to turn into, like I said, fat. But also, like, it's not just protein. Like, you need a balance of your macros. You need vegetables, you need fruit, you need phytonutrients, you need fiber, you need healthy fat, you need carbohydrates for your brain to function, for your heart. Like, we need all of these things in balance. So I could go on a tangent for hours. I get so pissed.
That's why I said we're just going to touch on this
one.
one.
Because I see everybody being like, protein for hormone health. And I'm like, actually, it's high fat, moderate protein, a little bit lower carbs if your hormones are out of balance. Hence, Velvetol. If you do the program, you'll see. Like, we have the blood work that shows that it works.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. All right. That's good. I feel like, I feel like that was a good. So this one is interesting, and I have something I want to say about it. It says, how do you handle it when your 11-year-old tells you they like the same sex? So
I think that's definitely, you take it first.
I would say, there's so many different nuances, but because I do believe that if you're gay, you're also gay at 11. Mm-hmm. However, you're 11. And I think, I'm not a parent, so I say this humbly without any type of like, as if I'm the master at it, but I would just be open to it. And I would express, that's okay. Mm-hmm. And it's also okay if it changes.
Right.
And something I think sometimes people in society right now, I don't know if this is going to land, want to get out of the box they're in so bad that sometimes, especially at a young age, they might box themselves in another place. Mm-hmm. And I think at 11, maybe someone feels, maybe like that kid has a feeling of attraction towards the same sex. And I think it just really creates opportunity for you to ask questions, for you to check in with them and remind them that right now what their life is about is like back to the basics, like doing good in school, making sure that they have friends, that there's not something else. There could be so many things going on with a kid at that age, but I would just say, I wouldn't encourage someone to say, well, it's a phase at all, because it might not be. And you're going to make your kid afraid to open up and come out to you if that is it. Mm-hmm. But I would also just let them know that they're exactly the same to you as before they shared that information. And however it would work in your relationship with that kid, give them the sense that it's okay if they feel that. Like that they don't have to be embarrassed. Like, what if they're wrong if all of a sudden a year later they have a crush on the opposite sex? Right. So that's what I would say. Like, A, don't freak out. B, have a conversation. If they said something to you, they obviously want to talk or be seen or be honest about it. And I wouldn't lean into, well, it's because you're gay and this is how you're going to be the rest of your life at that age. I would just ask questions and really make sure that you're there for them. Don't shame them, but you're there for them for all of those changes as things happen.
Yeah. I would say pretty much the exact same thing as a mom. I would, I think when we're younger, and we could speak just as individuals too, like sometimes kids just get confused because it's like, you're just curious about the body at 11 years old. So mm-hmm. like the child could be finding themselves curious, like, if it's a boy, they could be like in the locker room, well, why does his body look different than my body? And that might make them feel or think that they're attracted to it because they're staring at that person's body, mm-hmm. trying to figure out like, oh, he's got abs. Well, I like those abs. Like, I want abs. Wait, does that mean that I like him? Right. You know what I'm saying? Or if it's a girl, well, she has boobs. Like, and she finds herself staring at another girl that has bigger breasts than her, thinking like, well, I want those. They look good. Does that mean that I like her? Yeah. So they could be just curious about their bodies changing at that age, but they also could very well be attracted to the same sex.
Yeah.
And so very much what you said is that's a time for questions. Well, what about it? Well, tell me, how long have you felt that way? Okay. Is there somebody that you like specifically? Oh, well, why do you like them? And then just like you said, letting them know, I love you and I love you for who you are.
Yeah.
And I will, as you grow up to become an adult, I will love whoever you love as long as they're a good person.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I would approach it if it was Dom.
I really, really do believe that should be normalized, because the fact is that was used in reverse in a way in my life because I had crushes on girls, but I didn't really. I was fucking 11 or 12 or 13, and I did have crushes, but it wasn't because of who I was. It was because of experiences. It was because of a lot of different things. It was because I obviously I thought girls were pretty. I connect with girls. Like there's so many things to it. So I would just say, just because a kid says that, it is really good that they feel open to you. Right. And sort of that's how I'd handle it.
But I'd be careful about sleepovers.
Well, I think parents should be careful about sleepovers anyways. If I'm being honest, there was a lot of experimenting with girls when I was a kid.
Oh, really?
With me. Yeah.
Oh.
Like a lot of touching and rubbing and a lot of things that was just
we weren't allowed to ever have here and friends there. Over.
We really should be. I think honestly,
doors should not be locked.
Doors should not be locked or closed. And I would be careful at a certain age about kids. Like I think it's really good for, not in a bad way, but like not to make people feel shame about their bodies, but these are private parts, right. And these are, you know what I mean? And I think like you letting your siblings or cousins like bathe together and stuff past a certain age, there's just so much room for curiosity to really lead to an uncomfortable scenario that I think is just better safe than sorry.
Yeah. What else we got? Hit me with a good one.
Listen, I didn't write them. I'm just kidding. Katrina said, how to get that fat ass.
Yeah, girl. Oh, whatever. She has the best booty.
This one says, the very next one, what we just talked about, says, how do you manage it all, being a working mom, being a present mom and wife, taking care of yourself?
Well, I don't have to worry about the wife part. So that's a great place to start. Listen, I will say there are days where I do a great job with it, and there are days that I don't do a great job with it, with being present with Dom. And it's been that way for a long time. Like there's things that I've missed. And, unfortunately, there's parts of me that regrets it, but also I'm able to provide Dom with a great life. And also I was just able to provide for Dom in general. But I don't think it's selfish to put myself first in terms of my health, because if I'm not healthy, then how can I show up for him at all? So getting my workout in, eating right. Look, I got to make food regardless of if it's healthy or unhealthy. So I might as well make stuff that's more healthy than unhealthy. Like I said, get up, and even if it's just 30 minutes, getting that workout in, I am such a better person and I'm in such a better mood, and I can be way more present than if I don't and it's lingering over my head. Like I'm not a great, nice person if I haven't exercised. I need that for my own sanity. So I think it's really about, look, we all get the same 24 hours in the day. There's people out there that are way busier than I am, and they get it done too. It's what's important to you. They always say, like, instead of saying it's not important, try say it's not a priority, or instead of saying I don't have time, say it's not a priority, or say it's not actually important. Because so many people will go, I just don't have time. And it's like, if it's important to you, you have time.
You'll find the time.
You'll find the time. Because I bet if you looked at your phone and saw how long you were scrolling on it, because you could look at the hours that you spend on your phone, you'd be like, shit, there's some time in there.
Yeah.
Or if you're watching TV for 2 hours, I'm not saying don't watch TV, but maybe you get a walking pad, or maybe you bring a set of free weights in front of it, or just do some stretching. So where there's a will, there's a way. But yeah, like I said, I can't say that I'm always the best at it, but I try to have balance throughout the weeks, months, and years. Like I can't say that every day I have balance with it, but in general, like if I've been working a lot, then I try to make sure, okay, over the weekend, like Dom's got my time.
Yeah.
Kind of things like that.
Yeah, you are good at that. You've always been like, well, I have Dom this time, and yeah. But I think that's the thing. The truth is, everyone's just doing their fucking best. and some
We're all
days
gonna
it's
screw 'em up.
some days it's a shit show.
Yeah.
Exactly. I was talking to my friend on the way here, and she was like, she said she felt bad about something with parenting, and I was like, this is just part of being a parent. Like you choose a journey that you're gonna fuck up. Yeah, like it's just how it is. And, but knowing that that's a normal thing, I think is really good.
Yeah.
Let's take like two more. So several people said, somebody said body dysmorphia. Somebody said how to bounce back after and feel good again.
Let me see this phone.
What?
Because I feel like you're skipping things.
I'm not. I'm telling you. Some of them are like how we met.
Well, okay. D, have you ever done therapy?
I kind of have.
Okay. Any experiences you want to share or don't want to share?
Well, what I did was like a faith-based therapy, and it was very good. I was younger, and it just got. I don't have any big experience to share other than it reminds me that it's always important. You can't just run away from or walk away from your difficult things that you're facing or things about yourself that you're struggling with. You have to find the origin of why you feel that way.
Right.
And then you have to heal whatever the issue is there. So that was my experience, and it was really insightful.
Yeah.
But I haven't used, I'm such a proponent of therapy for someone who has very little experience with it.
I think there's so many different types of therapy, and you got to find what's right for you. So for me personally, like talk therapy, I don't know why, but it triggers me so bad. Like,
It's because you need it. I'm just kidding.
No, because you know what? Like when I went to Tony Robbins and I did Date with Destiny, that was like, that to me was like everything I needed. It was like the right information to help me figure out like what I was doing that was like sort of perpetuating my own issues. But like when somebody just sits there and like just keeps, well, why do you think you're that way? Well, why do you think? Fucker, if I knew, I wouldn't be paying you $200 an hour. So like, tell me what you see. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Tell me what I'm too close to the situation. This is why we talk to our friends, because your friends will tell you what you're too close to see.
Yeah.
But that's just me. So for me, talk therapy wasn't great, but then I went and did Tony Robbins' Date with Destiny. And that was really great because I was able, like, it was just very insightful for me of like, this is because of this. Like if you have two conflicting beliefs, you're not going to be happy. So like an example of that was like a toward belief and an away belief. Like toward is like, I'm an entrepreneur and goal is to be successful. But then if you also have, I guess it's two goals. That's how I should word it. So if the goal is to be an entrepreneur and be successful, that's my toward goal. But my away goal is I don't want to be a failure. Those are in direct conflict.
Yeah.
Because you're going to have failures as an entrepreneur. Like that's just a given. So you're probably not taking all the action you need to take because you're afraid of failing, which means you're not going to be successful because you're not taking all the action and allowing that failure to happen. So like somebody pointing that out to me and going, oh shit, yeah, you're right. So guess what? I'm going to have to get over this fear of failure because it's going to happen and it's going to be a lesson learned and I'm going to move forward from it. Great.
Mm-hmm.
Problem solved. Or I could just sit there and talk for hours and be like, I don't know, it's not working. Why isn't it working? Well, I don't know. Why don't you think it's like, oh God.
Yeah. Well, I honestly do feel like I have a very exceptional way of like, for someone who hasn't done that much therapy, I really have my head on straight in that way. Like I was talking to someone that I'm mentoring right now. I was talking to her today and I was like, the thing is, if you're running, in my analogy, you can be running towards something or away from something, but that really is about your perspective.
Right.
And if I'm running in fear that I think something is going to catch me and I'm terrified, that's not the life I want to live, but I want to run after what I want to go get.
Yeah.
And so I think like being just aware of those kinds of things is where therapy can really be helpful, like someone to put you in your place and check you. But also not all therapists are created equal. And a lot of people have tried therapy and they're like, it didn't work for me. And to that, I'd say, I know people who've had to go through 10 therapists before they find one.
You sometimes have to find a better one. So yeah, that's also, okay, this is a great question.
Oh, she stole my phone, guys. I have no idea what's coming.
Totally stole his phone, but this is a good one. It says, sex and relationships. Mine is lacking. a lot. I try to flirt with him, but it doesn't work. WTF.
Oh.
You want to go first or you want me?
So I'm taking this as someone in a relationship who's not trying to like flirt, put the moves on, but he's not really responding.
Be it boyfriend or husband, yes.
I think like, well, okay. I was about to say something, but I want to give a caveat. So I was going to say, I think you should talk about it depending on where your relationship is. After, though, because some people can talk sex to death where the last thing you want to do is have sex with somebody. Like, oh my God, it feels like a task. It feels like something you've just beat your head against the wall trying to do. And then the whole thing is trying to fix something instead of just having fun. So I would, if you're in the position like that person who you've literally tried all the things, like, then
you're flirting and they're not responding.
You're flirting, like doing the thing, being like, then I would have a conversation and be like, this ain't gonna itself, you know? I'm just kidding. No, I would be like, I don't know what's happening, but I want to talk about it because this is important to me.
Yeah. I do think relationships go through ebbs and flows where the sex is more often and then where it's not as often. But if it's not at all, if he's not responding to you trying to be flirty and things like that at all, then I think, yes, a conversation needs to be had. Is there something going on with him? Is he really stressed out? Because we know guys' libidos are like when they're super stressed. So like, is he super stressed? Is there something going on with work or family or something like that?
Yeah.
But yeah, listen, I will say this. Hopefully this lands. Sex is an important part of an adult relationship. It really is. Like, this is why I'm going to say things that are just going to go the wrong way. Well, like, you know, some people will wait till marriage. And I'm like, you are rolling the dice, man.
Yeah, I don't recommend.
10 out of 10 do not recommend. Because you could really like love somebody and care for them. And then that chemistry is not there.
Yeah.
And that person might just need to be your best friend and not be your significant other. You know what I'm saying? But like, it is intimacy, and that physical connection is a part of relationships. It needs to be there. And if it's not, you need to understand why, and you need to understand if you're going to be able to get it back or not.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. And I also think, especially like if that is a woman who wrote it, a man, and I think the average man isn't even in tune with the fact that things could be happening in their body that could make them just feel less sexual. And even like taking a natural supplement of some kind. There's things that can help with that because it's something that a lot of guys deal with. And it starts at a pretty young...
But it has to be acknowledged that there's a quote unquote problem. It has to be acknowledged that you're not having sex.
Right. Also, for me, if I'm not having fun in my life, I don't feel as sexual.
Right.
And so that's why I say, like, if you talk about sex to death, that's the least fun thing. You don't want it to be a task.
Yeah.
But if I'm like having fun, wind in my hair, we're listening to music, then I'm down. Let's do the
he's
thing.
Down
you
to
know?
clown.
I'm DTF.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay, we've got 3 questions that sort of fall in the same general category. Dating as a single mom, Donald's dating stories, and would love to hear more about Autumn's dating life. Let us dump on these dudes with you.
Oh. Well, we recently, I feel like, but I guess all the episodes are blurring together, did one on dating.
We talked about past dating stories.
Yeah.
We didn't necessarily talk about...
Now,
I think I might have still been dating somebody when we talked about that. So,
well, for me, my dating is like not as exciting as yours. So what's it like out there?
It's rough in these streets.
LA, I just want to say LA is a very hard place to date. I had to go find my man from the farthest possible
literally the
US
furthest corner
territory.
Well, let me tell you, this dating app is trying to make me do the same thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm allowed, if I should say what dating app. Like, does it matter, you think? I don't know. I'm on Raya, whatever. I don't care.
Yeah.
And first of all, I'm like, why do you keep serving me up these men from other countries?
Mm-hmm.
By the way, ladies, these men in other countries. What the fuck is happening in the US? Because they keep giving me guys from France and Canada and like England. And I'm like, yes. And I'm about to double tap. And then I'm like, oh,
They're so far.
you're so far. I have talked to a few though from France because I'm like,
I actually was thinking today, I was like, I want to go some vibey place, sit there with Autumn with her tits out and like be the wingman that I'm supposed to be. What am
let's
I
wrap
doing?
this podcast up.
Leaving
It's
this all
Friday
up.
night.
Yes.
But I have met some people on there. I have gone on some first dates.
Mm-hmm.
They've been good, but they haven't led to necessarily a second. So that's fine.
Yeah.
So really I'm approaching it with the like just getting to know people. Like just like I'm not trying to be like, oh my God, I have to be in a relationship. It's just like, let me just meet nice people, like have fun. And by the way, if it leads to funny stories for this podcast,
You're great.
then so be it. And I will say this, I won't name names, but there have been some people on the app that like the way it works, you like if you see somebody you really like, you could heart them or you could just message them directly. You only get 5 of those, or otherwise you have to pay for more to send them a direct message to make, because you have to make sure that they see your profile. They might not, like there's thousands of people on there. There have been some good ones, but, and that's only been within the last like week or so. So I've been able to send direct messages and I'm like,
that's exciting.
fingers crossed. Come on.
I'm here for it.
We'll see.
Oh yeah, that's a to be continued.
That is a to be
We're just getting
continued.
started.
But I actually have thought the one thing you can't do is you're not allowed to screenshot from the app because I've been like wanting to like send you photos of some of these people. And I'm like, damn, I can't screenshot. I got to grab another phone and take this picture.
Yeah, come out to the podcast studio, use the cameras. Like, oops. Yeah. I love it.
Yeah. But yeah, well, Donald, we've shared your dating stories because we did it on some of our funniest ones.
Yeah.
Like our dating thing. All right, one more. By the way, dating as a single mom, now that Dom's older, like I don't necessarily tell him every time I have a date. Like I'm not trying to bring a bunch of guys home for him to meet. So when the time comes, he will. But he also knows that mom's dating and he just always tells me he wants me to be happy. But he also he tracks my phone. It's so funny.
Oh, that is funny.
Because I have him on Life 360 and so I share mine with him too. Mm-hmm. And he like questioned where
That's good.
Yeah, except that I came home the other night and he like questioned where I was. And he was like, why were you over here? And I was like,
You're not the boss
adult.
of me. Yeah.
You're the kid. Don't track me. I was like, that's getting turned off tomorrow. Because quite honestly, I don't know how to turn it off. I had to ask. And he's like, no, you can't turn it off because I need to know where you are in case you need me. I got to be able to drive to you, Mom.
Oh, that's
Oh my God,
sweet.
he's so cute. He cracks me up. Okay. I feel like this could be a funny question for you. Funniest fail trying to be healthy.
I've done some crazy crash diets. That could honestly be like a whole episode.
All right, let's save it for an episode.
Yeah.
Okay. The moment you realize adulting is a scam.
Oh, Jesus.
God, that's another episode.
That's daily. Yeah. The moments.
The second I had to start paying my own bills.
Right.
So I was like 13. Literally.
Yeah. It really is like, this is what I was, because you were so excited to grow up when you were little.
Yeah, because you couldn't wait
no
to
one's
like
the boss of you, stay
go
up as
out,
late as you
stay
want.
out,
You can't stay up as late as you want because you feel like shit the next day because you're an adult.
Can't eat whatever you want 'cause
You're
you get
just
fucking
dying
fat.
a slow death.
Yeah.
You got to hurry up and pay all the bills and taxes.
Can't take shit with you.
Taxes, exactly. No matter where I go on this fucking planet, I got to pay taxes. Like, Jesus.
Don't even get me started. Because they just sent me an email the other day and I was like, well, time to sell some meat.
Yeah. We're at the plasma bank together.
Seriously, I was like, what fluid do you want?
Oh my God, that just made me think. Oh, yeah. I know someone who I heard, I don't want to, I feel like I could say their name, but I don't want to, but you know them too, who when they were younger in college sold a bunch of sperm.
Oh, I know who you mean.
You know who I'm talking about?
And then one of the kids reached out.
I guess it's been several now.
Yes.
That's so funny, but I'm like, hell, I don't know if they'll take a 40-year-old sperm, but if they will, let's go.
Let's go. Do it.
Yeah. I'll make some
Listen,
money,
my
honey.
eggs are old now. I can't even be I'd be like,
Can you imagine us going there? They're like, what? Can we help you? Like, we're here to sell. They're like, not here.
Not here. Not today.
Wrong place, sweetie.
What, you mean my skincare doesn't make me look 25?
It's castor oil.
As I'm having a heart palpitation. We have still some good questions on here. So I feel like we're going to have to do a round 2.
Me too. And I want to do this again with new questions. I think it's really, it's really fun to
But there's
address.
still some really good ones on here.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. I think we can wrap it up for now. So that's it, you guys. If you want to ask us questions, you can DM us on our Instagram account, Everything's Perfect Official. You can email us at everything'sperfectpodcast@gmail.com. Hit us with your questions.
That's right. And keep an eye when we post on our stories. We share some clips of the show and stuff like that. But also that's where we put this question box that everyone entered these questions. So maybe next time we'll answer one of yours.
Yep. Make sure you like, subscribe, and don't forget to leave a comment. I feel like we need to start putting that at the end since it is like spooky season, Halloween season. We just need it to close out the episodes for like October.
Absolutely. I agree.
Yeah. All right.
See you
We'll see you
next
next
time.
week.